Yo, what's going on, Kicksart Army? Today I'll be doing a sneaker drawing of the Air Max 95 ERDL Party Black that's set to release August 4th, as well as talking about if this upcoming season is a rebuilding season for the Lakers. Let's get it! For starters, this stencil that I'm using is a slight variant from the Air Max 95 stencil that I have on the website Kicksart.com. I uploaded this one as well, but the main differences are that the grooves on the upper that go from the midsole up are removed, as well as the Nike swoosh. Removing those details really makes the upper more open to pretty creative things, such as the multicolor camo design that the ERDLs have going on. It's not a big change, but I have this version up in case you're interested. Personally, I think both the black and the white variants of this shoe look dope for $190, so I'd say it's a good buy. Being a broke college student, I have little to no plans on purchasing any sneakers until I graduate and have a career and making a salary, but if I did have the opportunity to cop a pair this year, it would be this one for sure. Again, these are set to release August 4th, so if you're looking to cop, make sure you get in touch with your local retailers to see if they have them in stock. Otherwise, you can try your luck on Nike.com. There have been a lot of talks on LeBron's true intentions for joining the Lakers, and if this season is simply just a rebuild to prepare for next season. Some people have pointed out that the main reason why LeBron joined the Lakers is not to win a championship, but to further his business ventures, being in a much larger market than Cleveland. Now, while that is absolutely true, there is no way anyone can convince me that LeBron only chose to go to LA based on the business moves alone and not to compete for a title. People are also trying to say that this year is another rebuilding year for the Lakers, and that their hopes for winning a title won't come close until the effect of the following season when other free agents are available to pair up with LeBron. Because for the first time in 9 years, he's on a team where he's the only all-star level player. Obviously, LeBron is much more than an all-star, but that puts into perspective the situation at hand with the team he has surrounding him. Now, there are a number of points to unpack here, so I want to knock out each one of them one by one. For starters, LeBron realistically only had 3 options in mind when he was deciding on where to go for his offseason. That was to stay in the East and join up with the young and upcoming stars in Philadelphia, or to go out west for the first time in his career and join either the Houston Rockets or the Los Angeles Lakers. Obviously, now we all know where he went, but after the finals were over, there was a lot of speculation on where he could go, since it was like LeBron was a kid in a candy store looking at all the delicious options to pick from. He could stay in the Eastern Conference that he's been dominating for the past 8 years and have a good shot at making his 9th straight finals appearance, teaming up with Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid in Philadelphia. Or he could travel out west to the loaded Western Conference and team up with his best friend Chris Paul and join the Rockets, who went 7 games with the Golden State Warriors, to hopefully knock them off their pedestal. Or he could join the Lakers in Los Angeles and work with Magic Johnson, his idol growing up, to rebuild the franchise to the level of greatness they're used to. All of which are really interesting and unique choices. Each has their own benefits and downfalls. Benefit to going to Philly would be that he would stay in the weaker Eastern Conference and join one of the best centers in the league, Joel Embiid, and the young 6'10" point guard who is managed by the same agent as him. Point guard who is universally recognized as the next Magic Johnson. The problem with that scenario is that LeBron's been getting a lot of flack on his legacy for dominating weak Eastern Conference, only to lose to whoever comes out of the West. Now, obviously he has won 3 out of the last 8 times, but besides the series against OKC, it took Herculean effort to beat whatever Western Conference foe he had to face, and based on the current makeup of the Warriors, he would need a strong team around him to put up a good enough fight to beat them in a series. Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid are both young, talented players, so each had their fair share of injuries. LeBron is in the stage of his career where he wants stability and doesn't want to worry about the possibility of having either one of them get injured and completely derail his chances for success. Plus, management is kind of sketchy. Purposely drafting injured players or sitting out young talent way longer than needed doesn't lead itself to success overnight. Sure, they looked much better last year, seeing as how Ben Simmons and Joel Embiid actually both played, but look at Markelle Fultz. He was the #1 draft pick and didn't play until the end of the season because supposedly one of the coaches was working with him and changed the shot, which led him to forgetting how to shoot, period. If I'm LeBron, I want nothing to do with that in my 16th season. Next, we have Houston, who showed great promise in the Western Conference playoffs, giving the Warriors a difficult 7-game series, and if not for Chris Paul getting injured and missing games 6 and 7, and the Rockets not missing 20-something threes in a row that one game, they definitely would have beaten the Warriors. Now, what makes Houston so great? It's their backcourt of Chris Paul and James Harden. Now, these two guys need the ball, like a lot, especially James Harden being, in my opinion, the best one-on-one player in the league. This guy has been in the MVP conversation in the past 3 years because of his style of play, completely dominating opponents with patented dribble, step back three, or his ability to draw fouls. The most in the league by far. But as we just discussed a few days ago, they signed Clint Capella, which wasn't cheap. Sure, this was after LeBron already signed with the Lakers, but signing Clint Capella was a move that needed to be made to keep the essence of the team intact. Signing Capella costs money, and there is such a thing as a salary cap, so to sign LeBron to the team means certainly key role players would have had to find other jobs elsewhere, or chose to stay for way less than their value is worth. DeMarcus. So LeBron joining the Rockets would have meant gutting the roster, which would have had to happen in order for the money to work itself out. Again, LeBron is looking for stability in this stage of his career, and not just a quick chance to maybe beating the Warriors. While a good idea in theory, the Houston situation just wouldn't work out as well as everyone would hope it would. And again, Chris Paul got injured in that series. Chris Paul is on the books for another 4 years, making $40 million a year. That's really expensive for a player who's almost 33 years old. And LeBron being 33 years old looks a lot different than Chris Paul being 33 years old. We can pretty much bet house money that LeBron will be healthy and dominate for another 4 years. We can't necessarily say the same for Chris Paul. And just that level of risk alone, plus the money situation, is another reason why it wouldn't work out as well as people think. Which leads us to this little town in Southern California called Los Angeles. Home with the Lakers and the Clippers every now and then, but mainly the Lakers. This situation, unlike the other two, is very unique for a myriad of reasons. The main reason being Earvin "Magic" Johnson. For those of you who don't know about Magic Johnson, he is arguably the greatest point guard of all time that played for the Showtime Lakers in the 80s. We're called the Showtime Lakers because of him and his style of play. He was the floor general that not only played the sport of basketball well, but made it look flashy in the process. Most people will compare LeBron to MJ when the real comparison is LeBron to Magic. Their games marry each other so well, except for the fact that LeBron is bigger, stronger, and faster. Magic is one of LeBron's all-time idols and learned a lot from his game growing up. Magic is also one of the few players who were able to transition from being a player to a business mogul after the career was over. LeBron is in a certain place in his career that few people ever get the chance to be in. He's a once-in-a-generation athlete that has not only kept his body in pristine condition over the years, but improved on his game to the point where his best season yet was his last season, which was his 15th season in the league. LeBron wants to build his legacy on and off the court, which is part of the reason why he opened the I Promise School in Akron, Ohio over the weekend. He has a lot of business ventures, and living in Los Angeles, the second biggest city in the United States, certainly makes doing business much easier. He's already acted in movies and has a multi-part show that's going to release on HBO soon. Aside from all the business moves he can make in Los Angeles, he's going to a team that won 35 games last year without Lonzo playing most of the year. Lonzo being the number 2 draft pick overall and a pretty key component to that team. LeBron has proven he can lead a team full of scrubs to the final numerous times. Give that man some young talent to work with like Kuzma, Ingram, and Lonzo, and I'm sure he'll figure things out. Plus, he has the utmost respect and trust that Magic Johnson can assemble a team over the next year and offseason that will definitely put them in the championship discussion. Aside from signing LeBron, they signed a number of players this year on one-year deals that allows them to have the flexibility to make any moves they want the following year, whether it be to go after Kawhi or anyone else. They signed Rajon Rondo, Lance Stevenson, JaVale McGee, and Michael Beasley all on one-year contracts. All of them are NBA veterans who know how to play the game and don't back down from anyone. Especially not Lance, who has been known as the LeBron antagonizer over the past few years. This Lakers team is going to be so much fun to watch, and the best part is that we don't really even know what to expect. It could do really well going all the way up to the 3rd seed, or they can barely make the playoffs. I honestly have no clue what's going to happen with them, but I do know this: with number 23 on your team, anything is possible. Except for getting the number 1 seed. There's no way they're doing that. But thank you so much for watching today's video. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you're new to the channel, hit that subscribe button and bounce past that bell to get post notifications whenever I upload a new video. Visit Kicksart.com for all your sneaker stencil needs and send me a stencil request you have through that contact tab. Check out some of the other content on the channel, and I will see you guys tomorrow. Yee!